Sergeant First Class Bill, and today we're backstage at the Metropolitan Opera with the principal trumpet player, David Krause. David, thanks for being with us today. This quarter in particular, backstage, where we both had several lessons with James Pandolfi and Mark Gould and Mel Royals. This very corridor that we're playing in now was his storage space. Music used to be lined the whole way back these halls. We're talking specifically about my role as a field musician up at West Point and playing a bugle. And it turns out that there's quite a few bugle calls that are referenced in operas. Probably the most famous is the Leonore call from Fidelio. It's quite a moment when 4,000 people in the audience and the hundreds of people on the stage itself, not to mention everybody backstage, when you play that call, all those people literally freeze. Everything comes to a complete standstill. The dramatic purpose that it serves is pivotal. So it's a great moment playing it both on the stage, sure, but in the opera house, it has a little more special meaning. Would you mind playing that for us? Sure. I came to see Damnation of Faust, the last production that you guys did. I was just intrigued because I was now looking at it through the lenses of a bugler. When you guys performed this truncated version of Retreat in the Damnation of Faust, what's really going through your mind?
It's playing it like I would anything else, really. Depending on the conductor that's there, he's going to set up the tempo. So I'm very much playing it with a orchestra. It's on the cornet, so that's already going to be much different than the bugle. I don't think we don't aim to play with any sort of authenticity just because it's a bugle call. So it's going to be not much different than we play the rest of the part. But it's a great moment, and here's a call that started in the French cavalry and has made its way into the U.S. military. And these things last. It's still amazing the different twists and turns it takes as you see it progress from one continent to another. And then to have it pop up in Berlioz is definitely a treat to play for us.
Well, would you mind playing it for us?
Sure.
So you perform Retreat, and I know I do this very frequently, and I just want to know if it's the same experience here at the Metropolitan Opera as it is at West Point in the band. And so what happens to me is it's about 10 minutes before, and I get out of my car and I walk up the hill, and I'm standing out there in the cold, right? It's just like that for you, right? And you're, oh man, it's really cold tonight.
Right, so it's a little different. Usually I'll get to the hall about 45 minutes before, have an espresso, get my tuxedo.
Tuxedo?
Yeah, I do a nice warm-up. And then there's an AOE tune, and then the opera starts. So I'm in a little different headspace.
So you're actually inside?
It rarely rains inside, and the worst thing that can happen is maybe some of the snow from one of the sets, we'll drizzle into the pit. That's pretty
That
much
sounds great.
Yeah, it's a nice gig.
Well, that's good. You don't have the climate problems that I have, but okay, let's get to where it actually goes off. So I know for me, an MP standing at the flagpole yells 30 seconds as loud as you can, and then I know that I need to sound retreat. Is that how it goes down in Berlioz's version?
I have it's somewhat similar in that we get there's a PA that when everybody's lounging about, sometimes we're playing cards, some of the guys, sometimes we're just chit-chatting or in our lounge, and they'll say 15 minutes, then they'll say ladies and gentlemen of the orchestra to the pit.
Wow.
So they'll give us, so it's very similar to what you're describing.
Wow, that's amazing. So you have a lounge.
Yeah, we do have a lounge.
Wow, Huh. That's a little different than standing out in the cold for all these cadets.
It's a little different, but I wouldn't trade jobs with you on that.
It sounds great, and anybody watching this video, if you'd like to make it so that the Hellcats could have a lounge and an espresso machine, we would appreciate it.